Hi, I want to tell you about the dream and vision I had that are the sign of Jonah. The sign of Jonah was that the Lord showed me Satan's downfall and how that Satan had asked God for his power. At first, God showed me Satan with a mirror appeared unto him. He marveled at himself, and then he went up and asked God for power. And God said gently and kindly, no. When I asked God for power, God went off on me and went haywire like a wild animal to me and was in my face and said, no, and don't ask again. So I never asked again. And then I saw Satan going to angels, asking them to help him take over God. He promised them that he would share power amongst them if he helped overpower God. And God, I heard God's voice. Okay, Satan kept going to the pillar of the stairs where God is, and God would stop him and tell him, who am I? And Satan would say, you're wonderful, you're great, you're marvelous, you're omnipotent, just praising God with words. And then all of a sudden God would tell him, go back to doing what you're doing. So then when Satan came back, God would tell him, you may step up 3 times, 3 more steps. And then again God would tell him to go back and to doing what he was doing. And Satan would come back, and God would tell him to come back 3 more steps, 6 more steps, 7 more steps. And I heard God say to him, I will kick you out. What you're continuing to do, I will kick you out. But Satan did not listen to him. I was there. I saw it. And I heard it with my own 2 ears. And then Satan was thrown out with his fallen angels. And then I heard Satan, as quiet as you can be, shocked and perplexed, with his tail between his legs. And he said, with tremble and fear, but with a very humble tone of voice, may I please come back in? God said, no, you may never come back in. The answer is no, don't ask again. So then Satan said, may I tempt men? And God said, yes. So God told Satan, you can't do anything without my permission or without man's permission. Man has to have the doors wide open, okay, for you to do what you want to do to them. And then Satan said, may I create artificial food? And I saw Skittle-like colors in God's hands. And I saw an invisible, gigantic hand with all kinds of colory candy look in God's hands. It looked like Skittles to me. And so that's how it began. That's when God said to the holy angels, I need a holy sacrificial lamb. Not one angel raised their hand. He said, I promise to bless the one that will go down to be the sacrificial lamb. Not one. And so I saw Jesus. He raised his right hand and said, I'll go down to be the sacrificial lamb. So Jesus stood on his 2 feet, raised his right hand, said, I'll go down. I did not see the color of his face, but I knew he was a male figure, masculine, and I knew he was the Son of God, and that he was going down to be the sacrificial lamb. He was in beautiful white robe. And then all of a sudden, I suspended in space, like in like space where the stars and the orbits are. I suspended right above the earth. And I saw Jesus literally walking into the earth. He passed by me. He didn't, he just passed by me, and I saw him walking into the earth. And then in the orphanage, I had a vision of Jesus' crucifixion. He smelled horrible, like really bad. I smelled it. And then I saw his crucifixion. I saw him being nailed to the cross on his left and right, like the book of Psalms says that they lapped around him on his right and lapped around him on his left like a dog, surrounding him and nailed him. I felt the wrath of God, the curse of God on him. I didn't even want to know who that man was. I was like, wow, this man is cursed. I felt the fear and the horror of God, of wrath on him. It's a horrible feeling to feel. It's a death feeling, as if you're condemned. You're not, and wow, as Apostle Paul talks about, Jesus bore our curse. And Peter talks about that too. And then all of a sudden, I stood before the Lord. And he told me, move. And he said, I'm just going to end you, bind you, and chain you and throw you to the outer darkness. And I said, Lord, I was panting and frantic. Lord, why? Why are you going to do this to me? He said, because I've seen the way you lived your life. And then I heard, whoever endures in these last days, I will surely bless. So I said, God, give me the worst situation ever. Give me the worst situation ever. So God said, you're not going to make it. He told me that to my face twice. Because I was greedy. I wanted the worst situation ever on this earth to gain the biggest blessing in heaven. That's why God said what he said. And that's why he said, I'm going to put you at the edge of the kingdom and throw you to the outer darkness. My heart was greedy. I sinned against God. And I told God, give me the worst situation ever. And let men be mean to me and be cruel to me so that I can get the biggest blessing. But I cursed the people's soul. I cursed them because I didn't care where their soul was going to be by sinning against me. And I sinned against God by being greedy. So I don't know if there's forgiveness for me, to be honest. And on top of that, so God said to me, you are to take care of the homeless, you are to feed them, you're to look out for them. And then God told me to be careful with the words that come out of my mouth, because I would judge you accordingly to the words that come out of your mouth. He said that twice to me, but he said it in such a depressing, sad way. Like God was just so sad in his soul and his heart. Like he dreaded to judge me. That's the way he said to me, the way he sounded to me. And then he said, he growled at me. He said, many people will blame me for everything. And then he said to me, you are to stand before me blameless. So as he was sending me to earth, he said to me with a loud tone of voice, as if he had put his foot on my chest with a sword to my throat, with a very tribunal judge tone of voice, like just viciously angry tone of voice, very serious. Whatever you do, do not, and you better not, worship the dragon nor the image of the beast. But as I was in heaven, I heard him say, that dragon, old serpent, like viciously angry, like he was ready to get revengeful. That's what I experienced before the Lord. And then as I got adopted, before I was adopted, my soul came out of my body in Romania again. I had an in and out of body experience. And I saw millions of dead bodies upon each other all over the street in Romania. And I saw a lab. And I didn't know what it was, but it came to my mind. I knew in my head that it was because the government is going to kill everybody off and keep all their resources, the most resources for themselves. That's what came to my mind. I was like 5 or 6 years old. How in the world did I know about that? That's why I was so paranoid about everything when I was adopted. I was paranoid of God. I was afraid of everything because of the things I saw in the spirit, in the vision. And anyways, then when I was adopted, like around 14, 15 years old, I saw, in my dream, I came outside and I saw a U.S. military, and I saw the skyscrapers, beautiful glassy skyscrapers, beautiful mirror style like. And I saw them wrapping it, taking a saran wrapper and duct taping it all around. And I knew in my dream what that meant, because they wouldn't take the chip in the right hand or forehead. And then I had that dream in 2021. This time when I came out, I didn't know. I saw a Marine hat. And I knew it was a U.S. Marine because of the way the hat is. And then, so in my dream, I asked this soldier, why are you guys doing this? And he said, because nobody would take the chip in the right hand or forehead. I had a dream also, twice I had this dream again, that I went into a movie theater. The movie theater was painted black, everything black, super black. And they tore all the walls down in the auditorium, one gigantic auditorium, just one. And they took down the screen, the TV screen, and it was just a brick wall. And I saw concert lights on the bottom floor aiming against the brick wall. And it was like fresh, clean, clear smoke coming out, like a concert smoke. And I saw people going in with a goggle, and now I know what it was. It was a virtual goggle. And I saw people have a hashtag in their right hand, in their palm, with a chip on their thumb, in between the finger and thumb index, something like that. And I saw them just go to work and go play and everything. And then that crazy movie came out that people went to work, put the virtual goggles on and went to work. I couldn't believe that. I had that dream when I was 14, 15 years old, and that movie came out, I don't know how long ago, like a couple years ago, like 2017. It was crazy. And then I had that dream again. And, yeah. And I didn't take the chip. I just suffered being excluded out of everything, being banned from everything because I didn't have the hashtag in my right hand and I didn't have the virtual goggle and I wasn't going to go play. So that is the dream I've had. I also had a dream that the whole United States was on fire. I saw cars burnt to the ground. It was nighttime. Buildings were torn, broken into. This is the dream and vision I've had. So, like I said, these are the signs of Jonah. All my dreams and visions are the signs of Jonah. God has never given me a dream that he loves me, that I belong to him. Nothing. He told me I'm not going to make it. So I don't know what that means. But I have lived in my sin and I have a hard time repenting from it, and I need to be delivered from it. So, no, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do drugs. I don't prostitute. I don't believe in, sex before marriage. I believe in marriage, but I have other sinful addictions that I have that I need to repent of. And yes, I'm a gossiper. I'm a liar. I embellish. I don't think before I speak. I've sinned greatly against God. I've murmured, complained about God. I'm a sinner. I'm an absolute 100% a sinner. And I have to be delivered, but God chooses to deliver the ones he chooses to deliver. I don't know if I belong to him, but this is the dream and vision I've had. And God has been putting in my heart, I have to post this on Facebook. I have to do a YouTube. This is a sign of Jonah. I mean, I even had visions that people were going to Mars. I had that back in the orphanage. I knew about that. So I knew about the spaceships, the space shuttles, everything. And God told me too, when I was in Romania, when I stood before the Lord. I don't know how I knew, but I said, Lord, make sure I have nothing to do with, or I said to the Lord, Disney's bad. The Lord put it in my mind. So, the Lord told me, you're not to take your own life. You're not to change your own sex. He told me this when I stood before him. And all of this is happening. People are changing their sex. People are praising Disney. And Disney is evil. Disney is evil to the core. Now I know why the Lord, implemented it in my mind. So, I'm just giving my dreams and visions. My dreams or visions are the signs of Jonah. So, I will admit, and I will tell you, one day I was sleeping in my car. It was in the afternoon. I dropped my friend off to work, and I picked up my phone. My phone was black, right? And I saw a text that said, my child, I'll pick you up 10 times. I don't know if that's 10 times a day, 10 times whatever. But that was the only good dream and vision I had from the Lord ever in my entire life. That's the first and the last. And I was, 30 years old, 33 years old at that time. But I just now putting all these puzzles together. I didn't know anything about these dreams or visions. I even saw back in Romania, I saw a vision of a man, a blonde, white man, blonde hair, blue eye, white man, and a brunette colored, golf shirt, and a black pants, running for his life. And the Lord said that's because this is in the last days. People in my dream were running for their lives, running up against the wall and hiding. And then in my dream too, the Lord showed me that people in the United States, this was when I was 15. I had this dream twice too. People were hiding in bleachers, in theaters, and hiding in stadiums, football stadiums, college stadiums, all kinds of stadiums to hide from the government because they were coming in. It was martial law. So yeah, that's the dream I had. But when I stood before the Lord, before I was adopted, the Lord showed me that the U.S. government was going to come in and take all the Bibles, confiscate the Bibles. That is what I saw. I even saw myself being beheaded. So I saw myself being beheaded. And when I stood before the Lord also showed me what the Catholics did. The Roman Catholics did. He showed me a big old pile, a big old pot, a hot boiling pot. And he said, look what they did to my people. They murdered my people. He showed that to me. So I'm sorry that I'm all over the place in my little video, because I'm just remembering things as I'm speaking. The Lord is disgusted with the Vatican. He's disgusted with the popes, with the priests. They're not godly people. They're of the devil. The Lord showed that to me. I'm speaking for him because he told me. So the Lord is, it's not good. It is not good. He showed me what the Vaticans did to, what the Roman Catholics did to the Jews. Yep, he showed it to me. So we're living in the last days. We all need to repent. We all need to seek his face. Jesus is coming back, and we have to seek his face. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm just giving out this video because I fear God. I did not want to give this video. It's been in my heart for like 3, 4, 5 years. I did not want to. I dreaded this video. But I have to give it because I have to warn people. And my videos should able to reach out and help people repent. My videos are the signs of Jonah. God's not playing. He's not playing with me. If he's not playing with me, Why would he show you mercy if God hasn't even barely given me mercy? He's only given me mercy by letting me live my life. That's it. But God's coming back. He's coming back as a thief in the night. We all should repent. And God told me to support Israel. I have to support and pray for Israel. So, shalom.